Hi guys, welcome back to episode 4 of Diaspora Tales, and this is Adora and my co-host here.
My name is Uchenna.
All right, so honestly, I'm actually very excited to be back, if that makes sense. I am because this one is something that we've actually gotten a lot of requests. People trying to. I'm sure a lot of people have asked us a lot of questions on how we even ended up to Jaba. So today we'll be talking about. Can you tell us what we're talking about?
Today we have a very important topic. This is by popular demand.
Demand.
We've
Yes.
have so many requests on our emails to talk about this. So today's topic will be about visas,
Yes.
right? You cannot Japa without getting a visa,
Yes.
right?
Except if you want to fly by the air, crawl under an airplane and we've seen that happen.
You can't Japa legally
Yeah,
without a visa.
with the yes.
So yeah, today promises to be very interesting.
Yes.
So whether you're a diasporan or you're aspiring to be a diasporan, I believe this episode is for you.
Yes. So honestly, I want us to first of all talk about different types of visas, and we'll be talking about in general and in specifics based on where we're located, which is the United States of America, USA. So can you tell us a little bit of the type of visas people should really know about to know where they fall, the category they fall into?
Okay, yeah, when it comes to visas, it is very important to note that there are basically two types
Yes.
of visas,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's either you're going to visit just for a short period of time and go back to where you come from,
Okay.
or you want to relocate, right?
Entirely. Yes.
Yeah, so the first type is sort of like a temporary visa. So it's
Visa.
called a non-immigrant visa,
Yes.
right? And it has different categories under it,
Yes.
under the non-immigrant visas. And the other type is the immigrant visa.
Visas. Yes.
This is where like, hey, okay, I'm tired of the motherland. I want to
I
move.
want that, ma.
I want to take my whole family.
Yes.
I want to, relocate and go start afresh in a
Yes.
brand new country. So
Mhm.
that is an immigrant visa.
Okay.
Under that, it also has other subcategories under it.
Yeah.
But the most prominent types of visas that people apply is normally the non-immigrant visa,
Yes.
because the immigrant visa do take a lot longer.
Longer time.
Yeah,
Yes.
it takes a lot longer. The process is tedious, but people still get it. Back in the days when they used to have visa lotteries in Nigeria,
Oh yes.
I know they still have visa lotteries in some countries, but right now Nigeria is excluded from that
Yes.
list. Right, that kind of visa was the immigrant visa.
And it's the easiest. It's by lock.
It is very easy. When you get that visa, you come in with a green card.
Yes.
Right? So yeah, you straight off, you can walk, you can live legally, you can do whatever you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So yeah, I'll let you do a little,
Of
maybe
the-
intro into maybe your experience with visas and
Oh, okay.
what you know about the topic.
Yes. Honestly, I am that person that have always how will I put it? I was like the regular customer. So the consulate, right? I'm that person that I've actually tried different types of visa process, right?
Mhm.
So I tried mostly the ones I really tried mostly was the non-immigrant visas, right?
Mhm.
So it could be through school, it could be through tourism. So basically, for US visas, there's one they call the B1, B2, right? That's like business slash tourist.
Mhm.
And then they have the student visa. I forgot what that one is. I think it's F1.
I think it's the F1 visa.
F1 visa.
Mhm.
And then they have the work visa, which is the H1B visa, right? Or
Yeah.
H1A or B visa.
Yeah.
So honestly, the thing is, visas are very intricate. And I say it in the sense that you really need to know your category. You need to know your why. Why do you want to Japa? Does this really work out for you? If you're going for school, do you know the tuition? Because I've actually had people call me to literally, want to help out on ideas to do things. People that even planned it out, but with the exchange rate, it didn't work out the way they thought, right?
Yeah.
So, but when it comes to visas, especially non-immigrant visas, you really have to know where do you fall into. You really need to know the best, the correct. I won't even say the best, the correct website to go to get the right information.
Yes.
Because you could see some things could change from last year to this year. Honestly.
Exactly.
So you could have information that your friend left last year. This year, that visa category might be closed.
Exactly.
So
That
the
is
right
correct.
website is very important. So if you have a cell phone and you're always buying data on Instagram, gossiping, and you want but you're not serious yet, your data should be finishing based on research on where you want to go. So that's something I would say about visas. And I will tell you, I am someone that's been denied. That's why I really love this podcast. I was actually denied visa 4 times.
Wow.
Yes, 4 times. And imagine that walk of shame outside the consulate, where after the prep, imagining, and then you have that letter when they give you, that's it. So I wasn't prepared. And looking back, I'm
Can
really
I ask you
happy.
one question though?
Sure.
Why didn't you give up when you were denied that many times?
Because I am a curious being, and
Okay.
I am someone that is a go-getter. And there was one I actually, it felt like it was the same person that interviewed me in the space of 3 weeks. Yes, I think it's the same person if I remember, because I'm like, they were like, she was just here, nothing has changed, right? But because when they deny you, they really want you to take your time to really know what you're going there for, and not just something about you. Is about you really, but we have that sense that someone in the village is doing us. They don't want us to japa.
Wicked uncle.
Wicked uncles or aunties.
Also, I think the rules have changed a little bit. When you are denied now, you have to wait 90 days
90 days
before you can reapply. So today we're going to talk about some do's and don'ts, some things to look out for when you're applying for your visa, because it could be a simple mistake, right? It could be not being fully prepared for an interview,
not having the right information.
Yeah, it could be going with the wrong agent, right? A whole lot of stuff.
Yeah,
right?
I really want you to point on, now that we're talking on the do's and don'ts, I want you to really put a more highlight on agents. I would say this because there is a lot of people that have fallen prey to in the hands of agents. Very good ones, but
I got it covered today.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah, so for the agents here, we are not here to spoil your business,
At
right?
all.
We are not spoiling anybody's business. We are looking out for our community.
And looking out for
right?
you too.
We're looking out for you too, because there's so many unscrupulous elements out there posing as agents.
Yes.
Right? If you're a good agent, I mean, you should appreciate what we're doing, because we're trying to call out the bad ones.
Yes.
Right? This is how to spot bad agents or people who are out there to scam you.
Yes.
Right? If the agent is super expensive, right?
With no guarantee of not,
just run, right? If the agent is after money, they want you to pay everything up front, right?
Yeah.
Pay, like they're always after money.
And it's always urgent. If you don't do this now,
they always like
right now,
do it right now, or you're gonna lose everything. But the biggest red flag of all is if the agent tells you that he's giving you a guarantee that you're gonna get a visa.
Honestly, this one is really sad.
That is a red flag, because nobody, I repeat, no one can guarantee that you're gonna get a visa. Nobody can guarantee that.
But you've actually had stories of people that would tell you, man, this person guaranteed me this. I thought I would be gone, and here I am. Like, I've actually had a lot of those stories, So, but like you said, not really the agents, but please and please do your due diligence.
It's about doing your due diligence.
Yeah.
Just double check all your documents. When it comes to documentations, right? Just take your time, right? Make sure your names are spelled correctly. Your date of birth is correct. Every detail you're giving them.
And knowing the difference between, because, the
first name and middle name.
Yes.
Stuff like that. Also, I think it's very important to prepare before your interview.
Yes.
Right? Preparing before your interview is to go through like the documents you submitted, right? Make sure that your answer tallies with whatever you have on the papers, right?
Yeah, I would say, aside from the answers though, the first things, anytime you think of visas, what comes to mind first?
Travel.
Yeah, but passport. I mean, when you prepare, right? You have to really know what the time.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's the first part. You gotta get your passport.
Get your passport,
you gotta
right?
Get your
and let's say you've had your passport, like, it's about to expire, and you haven't. Once your passport has just 1 year in it, consider it expired.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's always good to have at least 2 years of validity of your passport. Yes, before it expires.
That is correct.
So that should be number one, because you might have a scholarship that is approved, and by the time you're done with trying to get a passport, it could be very time sensitive.
Yeah.
And when you're done with that, it could go. So that should be the number one. The preparation side with the passport.
That has to be, very paramount. This topic kind of reminds me of a funny story I had one time. It's a brother to a friend.
Okay.
He had applied to go to a seminar or a conference somewhere in the US. He either didn't prepare or he I don't know, he froze, maybe he under tension. They asked him what city he was going to for the conference.
Yeah,
and he said it was Boston.
Boston.
Said it was Boston. So they asked him what state, and he said Illinois. And,
it's like a city in Massachusetts, in Chicago.
So yeah,
oh my God,
you have to know where you're going. Right? It's part of being prepared, right?
Yes.
Some visas require, like a visa like that will require that you have hotel reservation.
Yes.
Probably you have a letter from the organizers of the conference.
You should know if you really are going there genuinely. That's what I'm saying. If you really are going there genuinely, you know the airport you're supposed to land, you know the hotels, you'd have been looking at the prices, right? Genuinely.
Exactly. You have to be prepared.
Yeah.
You have to know all this beforehand. Do not go there and freeze, right? And also the people who are running these interviews, from my experience, I think they are kind of psychologists, because they know, they read body language, right? You want to maintain eye contact, you want to be bold, you want to be confident. Don't look like it's the end of the world. If you're denied, don't look desperate. That's what I'm trying to say.
They can sense if you're desperate. I know that, because for me, I could remember, even right now, I could remember the anxiety I had just standing in front of them. Especially if you've really not been in front of someone that is not Nigerian. You see all this whitey pass, and right now you're literally talking to them. You're battling the accent, right? It's not like in the movies anymore. You're talking to this person right there and then. And then you really have to be yourself, right? So you have to really have that expectations in your head to know, okay, this might happen. Like I have to have my A game. Believe me, aside from the skin color, we all bleed red. Like if you have to have, when they say if you want to talk in a crowd, you have to imagine, someone say, I imagine everybody sitting there naked. If you're having like this stage fright, someone said, I remember a comedian said, I imagine everybody sitting here naked. That's how I would not, I would be very steady. So you can imagine them anyhow you want to imagine them, and see them as a person and present yourself, because that way, if you don't present yourself that way, it's going to come off as if you are not genuine, even though you are seeing people that are genuine, and because they were not confident, they were denied. So you have to like wear your confidence like a sleeve, like on your sleeve. I mean, like you have to really look them in the eyes. Yes, this is something. Smile and look them in the eyes. See them as a friend you just met at a restaurant, but while being straightforward with your answers.
Exactly. So we're gonna dive straight into it. Let's start with the non-immigrant visas first, right? The most prominent one that so many people apply is the B1, B2, which is the tourism/business visa.
Yes.
This normally, it's very common, right? So it means you're going there for a short period of time, right? Sometimes these visas, when it's approved, it allows you multiple entries. So you can go in and go out as many times as you want, so long as the visa is valid.
It's valid, yes.
But if you get this visa, do not overstay your visa, because it might affect your chances in the future if you want to renew the visa, or if you want to go for a different class of visa.
Yes.
And also, just because you came into the country with one type of visa, it doesn't mean you have to stay on that type of visa, right? They have the change of status. Something can happen. You could maybe fall in love, or
it happens most of the time, right?
Anything can happen. You fall in love, and the love of your life says, hey, do you really want to go back to the motherland? Do you want to stay here with me? Get married, and that's what they call a change of status, right? They file for you. You can change your status from that non-immigrant status to a permanent resident, right? So you want to make sure that every information that you give out during the visa process is correct.
Yes.
For example, a lot of people who are single, who have no kids, they believe that because they are single and they have no kids, that they have very low chance of being approved for a visa.
Yes.
So I've seen agents who tell people to claim that they are married and they have kids. Now, if for any reason that you fall in love and decide to do a change of status in the future, you cannot marry more than one person at a time in the United States.
Bigamy,
right? So now you have to get a divorce for a non-existent marriage.
Your imaginary husband or wife.
You have to get a divorce for a non-existent marriage.
Yes.
I know people who have gone through that process,
Okay.
trust me, it's not a joke,
Yeah.
right? You have to manufacture an individual and then divorce them, and so please do not do that.
And some people might even forget the name they put as a spouse during the application, which is crazy. I've had one where they really forgot the name they put in there.
Damn.
So how are you gonna be asking them? Can you tell me who I was married to?
So yeah, please just avoid that. And the truth is, when you're coming for that interview, right? Due to the high security measures that they have at these embassies and consulates, they probably know a little bit about you.
Yes.
There's a high chance that they know a little bit about you before you come for the interview. So if you are lying, for the most part, they probably know.
Yes, that's
right.
true.
So you want to be as truthful as you can be. Just present the facts as it is, and just hope for the best. It's not the end of the world at the end of the day. So if you appear desperate, it's probably going to affect your chances, because they'll be like, if we grant you this visa, you're probably not going to come back.
Because that's actually a bigger thing. Something that a consulate actually look out for is someone that has ties back to their home country. Exactly. If that makes sense. So they want someone that have ties in that country. So if, let's say, if you're traveling, you have a wife, kids, or husband, kids, they know you're not going to abandon them, right? So, or maybe aside from that, marriage is really not for everybody, but they want to know that you're actually contributing to the economy. This is the most important one. They want to know that you're working for, making good income to be able to afford the exchange rate on your vacation, right? Yeah, exactly. So you have to be able, it doesn't, believe me, that is really more than enough, because I've seen people that have been approved just by having a good, it's something good income, because at the end of the day, people jump up because they want to go make good income, right? If you're already making it, it doesn't show them that you're about to run off. They know you have something stable, right? Yeah. You just want to go see the world with the income you're making. So honestly, one thing I want everybody to take out of this is, take this points before you travel. That's outside your passport being ready. Understand that you need to know the number one, know your visa category. Okay, understand your visa category. Are you going for immigrant, non-immigrant? The immigrant one is always based on family. Let's say a spouse is filing for you,
filing for your family,
or your mom or your dad, right? Is filing for you. Okay,
or asylum.
Yes. So but asylum happens mostly when you let's say asylum is, the process for asylum is
it's a little different.
It's different. Maybe you're already here as a non-immigrant, and then you don't want to go back because your life is at risk going back, right? So, but understand the visa category you're filing for. Is it student? Is it work? Is it immigrant? It depends on where that fall into. Then number two, please gather your documents.
Exactly.
Please scour the internet for the latest news. There's ChatGPT now that can go to websites. Use that to get the right information. You can be your own agent. Check that money you're using to pay an agent. You can actually use it to pay for your maybe.
Of course, every information is online right now.
Yes, every information is.
You just gotta find the right website for the consulate.
Do you know the work of agents? Agents are for mostly lazy people, especially if you're not going for complicated process. So all they do is find information that you can find.
You can find it yourself.
When they're doing that, you are busy gossiping on Instablog and different things, when you can easily use that data to really find information. If you really want to jabba, nobody can put in the work like you. Right?
Yeah, so thanks for that point. There is another thing right now that is causing a lot of people who had visas previously to be denied entry. Okay. So this specifically is for ladies most of the time.
Okay.
People who go on medical tourism, maybe to give birth abroad.
Okay.
If you leave any part of the medical bill unpaid,
yes,
it's gonna come back to haunt you.
Yes.
I've seen this myself, right? Back in 2017, when I went for my visa interview, the lady in my front,
okay,
that's why she was denied.
Oh.
She had 2 kids in the US before then, and she was going for her 3rd kid, right? Okay. They denied her. They said she owed so and so amount of money to the last hospital that she had her last baby, and because of that, they denied her. So you want to be careful. You want to make sure that you ask the hospital, hey, is this everything that I owe, right?
Yeah.
Because it might come back to haunt you, right? Yeah, this is crazy. It's happening right now. It's really happening. The other type of non-immigrant visa right now is the skilled work, is the H1B
H1B
visa.
visa,
This is for skilled workers.
A lot of Indians use that to their advantage.
Exactly. A lot of Indians are in the US with the H1B visa.
Yes.
So if you have a skill that is in high demand, right? It could be a medical doctor, it could be a truck driver, right? If your skill is in high demand, just go online, look for all this information. Last year, the US had a shortage of 60,000 truck drivers.
Yes.
60,000.
That's high.
Professional truck drivers.
Because everybody wants the white collar job.
These are jobs in Nigeria that everybody ignores. You want to work in a bank. These are jobs that will make you bank out in the West, right? Maybe in Canada, the UK, Europe, the US, right? Truck driving. It could be medical doctor. It could be IT skills.
Yes.
Right? These are skills that are in high demand right now. Just go online, search for skills that are high in demand. Try to see what you're passionate about, right? Get into that skill, learn it very well, and you can apply through H1B. If you can prove to them that you are, that you can do what you promise that you can do.
Yeah, and you have proof to show it.
Exactly. Yes. You have to show it, right? Then H1B is another route, which the Indians right now, they exploit that route a lot, right?
The one I want to mention, okay, guys, I want you to listen to me carefully. If you have to get a pen and paper, do this one. Please, please, please. If I have told you that there is a way you can actually be a U.S. immigrant in a space of 6 months, how would you take this? Okay, and I will give you an instance, right? So I would say the name of this visa is EB1A visa. Please, EB1A visa. Now, this is actually for I would say if people have written about you, your work, you have, you're a visionary leader, right? So basically, even if it's not you, always remember it could be your mom. This is one thing I want you to do before you think of this. If your mom is someone that has done a good job in the university, a research, right? She's been in the newspapers. People have talked about her. What if I told you that she can actually apply for you guys to move to the US? So, and you don't need anybody to file for. You can actually file for yourself. Okay, because the US want people like that.
Of course.
I've actually seen recently some celebrities that have done. I don't want to name names. Let's say you're a movie star, there's something about you. You're a public figure that, you actually bring in a lot of influence and revenue. Believe me, EB1A visa, okay? Or even sometimes, let's say if you're someone that work in a field, let's say for, what's it called? This Center for Infectious Diseases.
Oh, yeah,
you're someone that help find the antidote on things. You're public health, you're someone that really does research. They want you, right? So it's called the EB1A visa. People don't really know about it, and I will tell you why. In Nigeria, we tend to crowd. We're like a sheep. We follow the crowd, right?
Yeah,
we don't really do our own research to see different type of visa. Just because Okeke went doesn't mean that Afolabi will go and do the same, right?
Yeah.
So please look into this. Your mom, your uncle, someone in your family might have approved. Will be approved for this, right? And this is immigrant, not non-immigrant. Immigrant. Meaning you can have your green card by the time you're coming to the United States. Okay.
And on that thought too, there's another visa type that is rarely mentioned.
Yes.
People rarely talk about it. It's called the L1 visa.
L1 visa.
L for Linda. L1 visa.
And mind you, all these visas are for US, okay? Because you're in the US.
Yeah, we're talking about the United States.
Yeah.
So the L1 visa is, let's say, for instance, you're working for like Coca-Cola, right?
Okay.
Coca-Cola has branches all over the world.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Okay.
So while you're working for Coca-Cola in Nigeria or Ghana or South Africa, right? You could go on your company website and check for open roles in the West, in the UK, Europe, United States, Australia, Canada, right? And you can apply for those roles, right? If you qualify for those roles, right, your company is called an intra-company visa. Right? Your company can sponsor you to get a visa.
Okay.
It's called the L1 visa, right? There are so many multinational companies in Africa.
Yes.
Right? If you happen to work for any of them, you can take
even
advantage.
Oil companies, banks,
exactly.
You
Halliburton, Schlumberger, all of them. Like these are multinational companies. Shell, They are everywhere,
everywhere,
right? You can look at the company.
And it might not even be the US. I've seen some of them send people to Saudi Arabia,
Oman, Kuwait,
different countries. Yes.
You can take advantage of that. It is really, really important. People don't talk about it at all.
At all.
Yeah. So the last non-immigrant visa I want to talk about is the individuals with special abilities. Right. These are for like geniuses. You've had stories of people who graduate from college
with first class, everything
was 12 years old or 15 years old or stuff like that, right?
High IQs.
If you have high IQ, if you're a genius, it might be in sports. It doesn't really have to be academic.
Yes.
Right? If you play soccer and you think you are the best, right? They might have ways that they want you to prove that you are the best. It might be video clips. It could be something. I don't know.
Or they might even send a delegate to check your skills.
They might send the scouts, right, to look at you, to watch you, right? You might be outstanding in one field. It doesn't have to be academic.
Okay.
Right? This is for individuals with extraordinary talents, right? It's called the O1 visa, right? O1 visa.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, these are some visas that people rarely mention. They are like, I know the most prominent one is the B1, B2.
Yeah.
But here, there's other types, right? So that is it for the non-immigrant visas. And then would you like to talk about the immigrant visas?
Yes. So honestly, for US immigrant visas, I would say specifically, because that's the one I know firsthand experience in, has to be family or the EB, okay, the EB1A. Okay. So the immigrant is, let's say, you have someone that is an American citizen living here, you guys got married and they filed for you, and you have to wait I think as a year in, the last I remember is about sometimes 2 years or 1 year. And
so let me get this straight. So your spouse is an American citizen and they come to Africa to get married to you, right? So they can file for you. They can file for you to get a visa and come to come to the West. They can do that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So how about siblings? Like, can you do that for your siblings?
Yes. So I'm coming to that. So even if you have your mom or a sibling, they can actually file for you. The difference between all of this is the wait. They call it the wait times. Okay. The wait time for, I feel like the US focus on the intimacy of the relationship, right? So, and I'll put it this way. If you have a newly wedded couple, they focus on them first because they really want to bring the couple together. So the wait time for that is not too much, right? And then when you have a mom that is trying to bring a child that is under, I think, don't quote me right, but I think it's 18 or 21, 18, okay? So it's under 18. They focus on that too because they consider it underage and they need the protection of their parents, right? Now, that same mom could have 3 kids and just one of them is under 18. That under 18 is going to come here before the rest because the wait time for that is longer. Okay. Now, if you think of a sibling trying to file for their sibling, let me say I try to file for my sibling, it is going to take, I think right now it's about 7 to 12 years. But guess what? The good news is, if you guys even get married, if your siblings get married, they've moved on, just keep doing their thing. When it comes to them, they can actually immigrate to the United States with their whole family, their wives, the kids.
But it does take a long time.
It does take a long time.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So that's why I said the immigrant visa is very intricate, but it's the one where you're coming in with your green card. Yes, you're not coming in to do change of status or something. You're already on the path to be a United States citizen right there and then. Okay? And with the immigrant visas, it is rarely denied. The only time I've seen it rarely denied is if it's a child and the parent is trying to bring them here, they always do the DNA test. That's why when you see this online, people saying they found out their parents is not their parent when they filed for. Yeah, but it happened. People think it's joke, but
I saw that recently. I did.
The US will make you go and do
have a DNA
test to make sure that they are biologically your kids. And in that case, if it's something that happened and they're not biologically yours, but you've been their parent, you can just do adoption.
Maybe affidavits?
No, not affidavit. No, you have to do a legal adoption at that point. That's the only loophole, right? You have to legally adopt them to be able to file, right? And I don't know if age has to apply in that if they're
I
already
think I
old.
saw I think I saw a story recently,
Yes.
and this were like old couple, like they've been married for like 30 years or thereabout.
Oh wow.
And it was during this like they were trying to bring their parents over
Here.
to the US, and that's when the kids found out that their dad wasn't their dad.
Yes. And I've seen
Oh.
some that is really intricate. It could be the man trying to bring the kids here and find out the kids are not his, and it's just sad, because at that point
it is sad, man.
It is sad.
I mean, I think men are the ones cheating, women are the ones scared of DNA tests. It's
crazy. But the truth of the matter is everybody does it, right? It's actually unfortunate because this is something that breaks up families. It does.
Oh yeah. I saw that story.
Yeah, the kids tend to suffer for it, right? Honestly, in as much as this happened, believe me, there are men that married their father. I wonder
how they're gonna look at their mom after that discovery.
Believe me, when this immigrant thing has actually opened a lot of things that would have died with the family if it wasn't them trying to japa, right? Exactly. So, and when you even look at it, I've actually seen cases of, a married man, or the difference is the man that cries for it. You've actually seen married men father kids that is not their wives, and you see kids coming together after they died.
Another thing is, I think there was a story sometime from, I think it was from Zimbabwe. It was a nurse. She was a nurse for well over 40 years.
Okay.
She made a confession that she had swapped well over 5,000 babies.
Oh my God.
She just does it for fun.
Oh my God.
She just, for no reason.
It could not be for, someone stepping out in the marriage.
She said she had swapped well over 5,000 babies at birth.
Oh my God, that's sad.
Like, and she's super old. Like, what are you gonna do to her? Jail her? She's about to die anyway. She just made that. And
guess what? Guess what? If the wife was telling the husband, "I never cheated on you," they would not believe that.
Nobody would believe her.
Oh my God.
Nobody would believe her. So yeah,
oh my God.
There's so many ways such things can happen, but
I believe the DNA test should not be done only for the wife alone, for the husband alone. Both parents have to
for the wife
point.
too. Yeah. If you do for the wife and then the wife is not the mom too, then you're like, okay,
exactly. That makes sense. So I feel like DNA should not just be for the dads only; it should be for both parents.
For both parents, yes.
And I've seen the chimera twins where one passed away,
the other twin.
Yeah, exactly. It's happened, and it was the babies are the brother's baby that never lived. Yeah. There's some crazy stories, but honestly, the nutshell is immigration japa would really take a toll on you. It will open the can of worms. It could make you be the brightest star. You never know. You could even be a researcher on things.
Yeah.
But one thing I really want you to take away: one, understand your visa category. Two, gather all your documents. When I mean all, and make sure no errors. And in fact, before you submit, print out every document you're submitting to them and go through them before your interview. And third, please practice for your interview. If you know where you're going,
if you have a friend or a spouse, you could practice with them. They could ask you questions and you could practice answering them with a straight face, look them in the eyes, maybe a little smile, but don't be overconfident, but don't be timid.
Timid, exactly. So always, please, those are the three things I would say on your visa journey. Please understand your visa category, gather your documents, and prepare for your interview. And the fourth one, be on time and be prepared. Yeah.
Exactly.
And please smell good. Because I've seen some jokes on Ireland of, some people say you go at the embassy, some people are smelling funny. That first impression matters,
first impression really
I don't say we are booking perfume or something over spray. But smell good, don't be sweating, because when you're rushing or when you're anxious, you sweat. You have this stress sweat release. Believe me, all those tiny details go into, when you walk up to someone, because they have a tiny hole there. Believe me, when you're coming in, your air is coming with you. Brush your teeth, just be presentable, okay? Imagine you're going for a job interview. So those are our key takeaways. Do you have another key takeaway?
Thank you for those nuggets. I think this episode has been very insightful. And for those comments, those emails where you guys are requesting for this topic to be discussed, I hope we were able to address, some of your concerns about this. I would say once again, thank you for your, nuggets on this.
There's something I want you to. There's something I forgot to add. Please, when I mean, there's something it's called what's it called? I mentioned it the other day. It's called visajourney.com. Visajourney.com actually has a lot of people that want to jump, like-minded people. This is not an ad. This is something I used. I don't know if they're still on, but I believe that they're on. So go to visajourney.com, create a profile. You see the country you're trying to go, the category. There's a lot of people. That's where you know your wait times, the current news, and also don't just take information. Take every information you get there with a pinch of salt. Like, okay, make sure you go to
Just
the
verify,
right,
verify. When you
always
hear the
verify.
information, verify.
Go to the right website to verify. But that's a nugget I really want you to do. If you want to go anywhere, go to visajourney.com and type in the country. You will see your fellow Nigerians or fellow Africans, or anywhere you are, even Indians, anywhere you are in the world. You see people on the same journey as you. It is really motivating because you now have a community of like-minded individuals that have the same goal as you.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you for that. In conclusion, for this episode, I want to correct one thing because recently online there's been so many people who, I mean, bloggers, YouTubers,
Okay.
who are seemingly trying to discourage a lot of people from
Traveling out.
Life is hard. It's not what you think. It's all that is correct, right? Life is hard. It's not as easy as you think, right? But I believe everyone
has a chance.
Everyone deserves a chance at a better life, right? The motherland, we are plagued with bad leadership.
Yes.
Right? I'm from Nigeria, so I'm gonna talk from a Nigerian perspective, right? Nigeria kind of robs you of your youth.
Yes.
Right? You don't know really how old you are until you come here and see like people in their early 20s.
Yes.
With kids, with wives, with a family, like they've already started families, right?
Yes.
And then in Nigeria, people of the same age are still trying to write JAMB, trying to get into the university.
Yes.
Right? People over 30 are still in their parents' house because there's no jobs. If you don't know someone who knows someone,
you can't get ahead.
You probably, So the system robs you of opportunity back home.
Yes.
Right? Everyone deserves a chance to come and see for themselves, right? Not everyone is going to make it.
Yes.
But everyone deserves a chance.
It levels the playing ground.
Yes. If you are struggling in the motherland, right? By all means, try your best to see if you can leave the motherland and, travel to any country that you can, right?
And
try and see if you can make a better life for yourself, right? Yes. I'm not saying it's going to work out for you, but you deserve a chance to at least try. Right? But do not sell everything you have trying to make this.
That's what I wanted to say.
And if you have a job that is making you comfortable, that is giving you everything you need,
you can vacation to those
countries. I would say before you decide to Jabba, try to see if you can vacation to these countries and see if you're going to like it.
Yes.
Right? Do not jump with your 2 feet in when you don't know how deep the pond is.
Yes.
Right? Just try to, maybe get a non-immigrant visa, come as a tourist, and spend maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and see if it's a lifestyle that you would like. Because trust me, it is stressful. It can be depressing sometimes because you have less neighbors to talk to, unlike the motherland.
Yes.
But hey, I'm not gonna discourage anyone.
And don't make this
that wants to travel. Please, if you want to travel, by all means,
do.
I wish you the best. That's all I can say. I wish you good luck. I hope everyone gets a visa. Right? Because right now, Africa is blessed. We have everything that we need to be great. Yes. But we have very stupid leadership. Yes. We have very, very stupid leadership. I am grateful that Burkina Faso is getting it right now. That will be a topic for another time. But hey, if you aspire to leave the motherland and come over here, by all means try. I wish you good luck. And do you have any final words for them?
Yes. I wanted to add to something you said, but you mentioned one already, like not selling off everything that you have just to Japa. Please don't. I've seen people that did that, and guess what? Even as much as they hustled abroad, they will never make as much to afford the things they sold to Japa.
Exactly.
Okay, so if you can find another way without selling, like I'm an Igbo girl in Dubai, our people said that you don't, meaning you don't really get things and sell it off to be rich, right? You need to know how to hold on to things that you already have, okay? So, but please, before you
you need to hold on to your assets. You can sell off your liabilities. You can sell off
your car,
right? But the house, do not sell a house.
Sell it off.
Do not sell your landed properties. But the car is a liability.
You can lease. You can lease it. Do other things that actually brings you income while you're not there, but don't just sell it. It doesn't have to be selling. And secondly, there is this stuff that Spin Darlington said that is recording in my mind right now. When there was people in Cambodia and he said Cambogini, and I would say it's funny, but he dropped a nugget there. Not every Japa is Japa worthy.
Of course.
Not every Japa is Japa worthy. Okay, I've seen people that live in the remote places in the Philippines that is way better than you living in your village in your father's house. Really, I've seen videos of people living in despicable places in Libya and different things. You are better off still in your motherland than that kind of Japa. That's the truth. So not every Japa is Japa worthy, okay? Understand, that's why I said know your why in the beginning. Know the reason why you want a Japa. So your standard of living, is it gonna improve or is it gonna like get you to your knees, right?
Exactly.
So living in Nigeria is not that bad than Japa in a place that it will bring you down to zero, right? So just let people say, "Oh, she's not living in Nigeria," or
and
he's
then,
not living
and then
in Nigeria.
when people make that mistake, they find it hard to go
back.
What people are gonna say. Well,
I will tell you, I am someone that I don't want to mention name. I'm someone that made that mistake. I went to a country I wasn't supposed to go, and I came back in the space of a month or less. Right? I didn't let what people would say to me deter me, right? So I'm telling you, we opened this because we've actually gone through the ghetto part of this.
Yep.
Yes. So don't think what are people gonna say. If it's not working, home is home, right? What are people? Who cares? So that's what I'm saying. Know that the place is Japa worthy, okay, and not a place that will deplete your humanity. Exactly. So that's just the nuggets we have for you guys today. So I hope we've dropped enough of visa content today.
This was able to satisfy your cravings. Yes. And also, before we end this, we're ending it in 30 seconds. We're gonna switch to bi-weekly videos, right? We have full-time jobs, right? Doing this every week, it's becoming very stressful and we are not able to keep up. So after this episode, it's gonna be bi-weekly.
Yes.
So the next episode will be 2 weeks from today.
Yes.
Right? So 2 weeks, so two videos every month.
2 Wednesdays in a month.
For now, yeah. Yes. If it changes in the future, we'll still let you know. But for right now,
yes,
we cannot keep up with doing a video every day.
Every week.
Yeah, every week. Yeah. It's really not sustainable right now.
Yes.
So thank you for all your support. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your shares. Thank you for your comments
and the encouragement.
And if you've not subscribed,
please subscribe. Right there. Come on, we're begging. Come on.
It's free. It's free to subscribe. Just click that button right there.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for being part of the community. Keep sending in your stories. If you've not shared your story yet,
and next week, next 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks' time, we're gonna pick one story from the emails.
Yes.
And we're gonna share it for everyone to maybe learn something, or pick a little bit of something from the story.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Do you have a final word for them?
No, just thank you for joining Diaspora Tales, and please tell a friend to tell a friend, like I said, and join the community because this is just the beginning.
Of course. Ciao. You have a good one.
You too. Bye.